Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you like the video for today, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching. Thank you for joining my channel, Fortune Creations. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make a simple crochet stitch in order to start a throw blanket. I used the double half crochet stitch. I'll demonstrate how to start the chain and make the stitch in order to complete a blanket like this. I use my yarn. I use yarn that I bought from Michael's. I used a speckle color beige, a tan color, and a brown to complete this blanket. I'll go over how to start the chain, show how to make the stitch, and do a few rows to demonstrate how I formed this blanket, and also how I changed colors whenever I ran out of one color on a row, how I interchanged or combined a different color to complete the row on the blanket. I hope you enjoy watching this video of me make this blanket. This is the beginning of a blanket video. I am making the slip stitch to start the chain of my project. I'm making just a throw blanket out of different colors of yarn, and this is a brown that I'm using, and I'm starting my chain. I tried to show slowly how you make a slip stitch. You fold the yarn in half at the top and pull one piece through the middle of it and pull it slightly, and that is your slip stitch. This is how the blanket will look. I've already made some of it, but I wanted to show you how you begin a stitch on a blanket. See, that's the beginning chain. And now I'm going to show you how you begin this stitch. You yarn over, then you take your crochet needle and insert it into the back of your first stitch, and you'll have 3 loops. Then you pull it up again through 2 of them, and you have 2 loops left, and then you pull it through both of them, and that begins your stitch. This is called a half double crochet. Just takes practice to know where you insert your crochet needle and pull it out, and when to yarn over and stick it inside your next stitch on your chain. 3, pull it through the first 2, yarn over, and that's your beginning of your chain. That's the beginning of your blanket. That's how those stitches started out, turned into the blanket, and all those rows being repeated. Now I'm going to show you on top of the stitch. Once you have formed a lot of your blanket, it's just a repeat. I'm showing you how to do the stitch again, and how you go in under the loops of your chain. It's like little V's. You see little V's, and you insert through those V's to make your stitch, just with a different color yarn. Yarn over, insert it into the loop, pull through 2, pull through the next 2, yarn over, insert it through the little slip stitch, pull it through 2, pull through 2, and that forms your stitch. Then I will also, on another slide, show you how to change colors, how I change colors of the yarn. So I hope you enjoy watching the project. Right here I have gotten to almost the end of doing one row. It's a long throw blanket, so it takes me a little while to get through one whole row. So I'm going to show you where it started. It started at that end, and I pulled it all the way. I crocheted all the way to here. And I'm going to show you how once you get to the end, how you have to flip your blanket and begin another row. So this just me continuing till I get to the end of this row of the blanket, and then I'm going to turn, show you how to do your last slip stitch and turn to begin your next row. Right here, I've gotten to the end of the blanket, and I'm getting ready to insert into that last stitch. And this is the stitch where you close one end and begin another end. So I finish the stitch, I make a slip stitch, then you turn and you begin another row. And I yarn over again, stick it into my first loop stitch, and then begin the stitch all over again. Now I'm getting ready to change the color, so I'm gonna add in my brown. I just fold it and hold it with the same hand that I'm holding my little stitch where my crochet needle is in. And to begin the stitch, I yarn over that brown, hold my loose ends, and begin my stitch again, and yarn over. I'm gonna yarn over again, go into my next loop. And as I'm doing this, I'm holding the loose ends of the beige yarn and the brown yarn that I'm pulling in. And I'm gonna cover it whenever I go into my loop, into my stitch. I hold those loose ends up under my crochet needle. I pull them under my stitch as I'm crocheting, and this hides those loose ends so you can't see them on the other side, and makes the blanket looks neat because you don't see any loose ends. And I think I'll show you that also once I finish joining this color and get this row started real good. See, here are the loose ends that I have crocheted into my stitch, and see how my stitch covers the loose ends so that you can't see them. They're completely covered up in the stitch, and that makes the blanket look neat. That was the brown that I just used to begin a new stitch, and I did this throughout the blanket. Whenever I end with one color, because I was rotating colors, I did the same process as I pulled in a new color, and that makes your blanket look smooth and neat. And here we've completed one row of the brown again after I joined it in, and we're beginning to start a new row of the brown until we finish that color. Once we finish the color brown, then I'll pull in another color. Here you can see where I have changed the color, and when I turned it, turned the corner, turned the end where the color changed at. It just gives the blanket a little more texture to me whenever you rotate the colors back into in, and one color ends and you add another one in. So here is the finished product of the blanket. And how the stitches turned out as I crocheted them in, changing them out one after I finished one row and made the row as high as I wanted to. I didn't make it completely even. I kind of rotated and made one row longer or wider than the next, just to give it a little texture, a little more texture. I hope you like it. This is just a beginner crocheting blanket, not no hard stitch to learn. Thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up.